Coming up on CHGO Cubs, presented by Toyota and Bet365. Another Sunday of sadness. So close to a sweep, and then it slips away. Should Michael Busch have been in the game? Therapy with us next. Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Use the code CHGO365 at signup. Cubs below 1 at Wrigley Field. 8-7 the final. They had a chance at a sweep over the Padres, who came into this series unbeaten at 7-0. So obviously a really good team, a chance to do some serious damage and win their 6th straight game. Instead, the winning streak stops at 5 in a row in brutal fashion at Wrigley Field. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Kevin Wells with you, Sarah running the 1s and 2s. And if you are listening or watching this on the old CHGO Sports, the general CHGO Sports YouTube channel, flip on over. Flip on over, because pretty soon none of our shows are going to be there. We're all on the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. That's where we'll be reading the chat and having fun with everybody and having a good time. So make sure you subscribe to that. We've been doing that for about, a week and a half now. And a lot of fresh content there to check out as well. We'll talk about this game. We'll talk about this series, and we'll look ahead to the next one as well on this show. This, in general, guys, though, first thoughts, I know it's a good series, but this hurts for the second straight Sunday because they blew it last Sunday too.
Yeah, what is it with, since our entire existence began, Sundays have been painful.
Not good.
I watched enough Corey and Brendan the last couple years on Sundays, and they're both miserable because they would lose in the most depressing way to finish a series, whether they won the series or not. Anyway, yeah, it's just kind of a bitter feeling. I mean, you won a series that I don't know how people felt going into Friday. They had such a great series against the A's. Go into this series, the Padres were undefeated. You end up taking the first two, in really fun fashion, right? And you had the opportunity to sweep the series today, and you led 7-3, and you let it go. And I think there's a handful of reasons why they blew this game. I wouldn't say it's just because Justin Turner dropped the ball in the 9th inning. It's not just because whoever got the hit in the 8th inning off Porter Hodge. There were many reasons on why they didn't win this game, but the two that I'm talking about that I just mentioned, I think that's, you look at those moments and you're like, despite all the things that happened beforehand, you still led going into the 8th inning and you let it fall. And I will say this, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt like it did against the Diamondbacks last Sunday. Largely because you won the series. And also, I don't know, as far as who to use in the bullpen, I don't know who else Craig could have gone to. If there's any pro from the bullpen today, Brad Keller, stock up, right? Julian Merriweather, stock up. Hodge, he has great stuff, but man, walking the leadoff hitter is not great, so stock down. Do I still believe in him? Is he still in my circle of trust? Yes. Presley, he walked the leadoff hitter, but then got a routine ground ball and got that guy out. But, we all know how the 9th inning panned out with Turner dropping the ball, whatever.
You can't sugarcoat it, though.
I'm not sugarcoating it.
They should have won the game.
They should have won the game. That's the thing. That's the only thing about this that makes it tough, because you led 7-3, you're at home, and you had already won the first two of the series. You should have won the game.
Felt like who was going to make the most mistakes in this game is kind of how it came down to me.
It was an ugly game.
It was a really ugly start to the game. Credit to the Cubs for immediately picking up Ben Brown, his second start of the year, and going out and scoring 7 unanswered. But let's be honest, you got a little lucky. 2 balks in 1 inning. When does that ever happen? I mean, you took your walks. You took 8 of them today. That's really good. The Cubs are really excelling in professional at-bats this year. But again, this one is, you're right. I mean, it's a bullpen loss for sure. Ben Brown could only give you 4, and I think the turning point for me was the home run to Merrill, in which I didn't think he should have been out there for the 4th. But as far as Counsell in the late innings, again, I mean, he is going with what he's given, and I'm not going to immediately start sounding the alarm that the bullpen is bad, but there's far too many base runners in late innings again. Yeah. Far too many leadoff walks. The Cubs right now have given up 110 hits on the season. That's like 20 more than the next team. I mean, way too many base runners, especially in key opportunities, and it hurts a lot because how many 1-run losses have we seen the last 2 years? 1-run loss again in a game that you probably could have escaped with a win there. Turner catches that ball. Great. He should have caught it. Yes. But again, it's frustrating because it's a 1-run loss, and we feel like we've seen this story a million times.
Last weekend was 6 walks by the bullpen in 3 innings. Too many. 8 walks overall today, way too many.
To your point, Kevin, when you're talking about the walks, I should go back and say about Presley, if he doesn't walk the leadoff hitter, then the next ground ball, it's a routine out if he gets the guy out. If he gives up a hit and then you get the routine ground ball, maybe the same situation plays out. But whether Justin Turner catches the ball or not, maybe we're not in that situation if you're just not walking guys. Yeah, and I think that's the point that I'm trying to make here. So, yeah, it's just it's a situation.
Did they work a clean inning today?
No, the walks were the biggest. If you just say overall, what's the problem with the game? Walks. You can't give up 8 walks to a team that's also got like 13 or 14 hits in the game. That's trouble no matter what your lead is.
It's a great lineup.
Merriweather or Keller might have had a clean inning.
Okay. Yeah,
I think Keller gave up a hit, but he didn't walk anyone. And Merriweather, he might have walked someone.
Keller had a clean inning. He didn't.
Okay.
It wasn't a perfect inning, but it was
inning and out of 9. Yeah, that's tough.
Now so that you can't walk the leadoff man. That was the other problem last week. Like walking the leadoff man, the most novice mind about baseball can tell you giving a free pass to start an inning to the other team is a bad idea. Yeah. Especially a team that has bats like that and is willing to look at the pitches. So, okay, that's the first problem. I don't blame Craig Counsell, and I don't think anybody should blame Craig Counsell for the way he went about using the bullpen. That's probably the best route that they have. Those are that, like you said, circle of trust. He went with his circle of trust. The thing that he'll be questioned on after the game is not leaving in Michael Busch over at first base. Yeah. Now, even Cliff Floyd said at the very beginning of their postgame show, is it a play he should have made? Yes. I'm not going to blame Turner over there at this point for first base. He just doesn't play first base or anywhere that much. He should have made the play. The whole game is not on him, but the decision to leave him in is a little bit questionable. I guess I'm just going to guess at Craig Counsell's thinking is that we knew we needed a really key at bat still in the game, and he's one of the guys we want in those key situations. He did give a pretty good at bat in the bottom of the 9th. Didn't lead to anything, but it was a decent at bat. The flip side is you could have put Turner over at third base and you could have had Busch at first, and you can't guarantee that play is made, but it wasn't that tough of a play. It went right off his glove.
Hit him in the webbing of the glove.
He thought it was good. He thought he was going to scoop it, and all of a sudden it was a backhand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would have even put Turner at third. I would have been fine if you just put Workman at third base like they did and put Busch at first. Like that would have been fine with me. Because if he does catch the ball, are they out of the inning? They're out of the inning, right? If he catches the ball.
Inning double play.
Right. So then it's still a tie ball game. It's not like you're going in the bottom of the 9th inning down 1 run.
Now the ball they threw into right field, I don't blame Turner for not getting that one. Yeah. And do remember that was on
Kelly.
That was on Kelly. Turner had a nice throw to the plate where they cut down another runner early in the game. So it wasn't like he was a butcher over at right field.
It wasn't Trey Mancini.
Is Michael Busch a better first baseman? Yes.
Yeah. No,
but Shaw might be better than Turner at third too.
Yeah, it's just I would hope. The thought process behind the entire situation. It's like you brought Busch in, you pinch hit Busch for Shaw. for matchup reasons, probably. They had a right-handed pitcher on the mound. What was it, Jason Adam? So they brought in Bush to face Adam, and so I don't know why you don't just go ahead and put him at first base for defense.
My guess is Counsell is probably saying, hey, we really didn't want to use Michael Bush today at all if we didn't have to. This was supposed to be probably, and this is what I'm assuming he's probably going to tell the media when he's inevitably asked about this.
The chat will tell us what he says. Probably.
He is saying, hey, this was a scheduled day off for Michael Bush. We had to use him in the situation that he was there for, but he wasn't ever going to play the field. But that is worthy of us questioning why.
Yeah. No,
absolutely.
That's absolutely fair. And but like I said, when you first asked me my thoughts on this game, like, to me, the reason they lost this game is, you turned out to be right, Kevin. When we were over by the TV, I said I'd let Brown come out for the fourth inning, just because his pitch count is still kind of low, and I'm also like, okay, if you take him out, who you bring in? You bring in Colin Ray, like. I mean, I guess we could have found out. We could have messed around and found out and see how things.
But it was a lot of
out.
bullpen arms, even with the way it was.
I get Colin Ray. That's kind of his role, right? That would have been my guess on who they would have gone to if they had taken Brown out after the third inning, is going to Colin Ray. So depending on what would have happened there, who knows? But yeah, I mean, Brown walked 4 or 5 guys today. He had a hit by pitch. He struck out 5 guys. The stuff that you could see, and I know his first 2 starts of the year have been shaky, much better in Sacramento last week, obviously, but than today. But it's not what we've seen, not what we saw last year so far. And so, even though they were up 7-3 after Kyle Tucker hit his first homer at Wrigley, it was still so early in the game that I think that's why I'm just kind of like, this one sucks because you could have swept the series, but there was still a lot of game left, and that's a good Padres lineup. So considering the Cubs bullpen situation and just, literally only 2 or 3 guys I feel good about. That's Merriweather, Hodge, and Keller right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have a feeling on Colin Ray yet because we've barely seen him.
He hasn't pitched since March 31st. He hasn't pitched in a week.
Right. So I was willing to see if Brown could figure it out as the game went along. He didn't after he gave up the home run to Merrill, and then it's a 2-run game. So that's what sucks. And you score 7 runs, you should win the game. But at the same time, it was really early in this game, and with that Padres lineup and the fact that they were playing desperate today because they lost the first 2 and they didn't want to get swept, I think they deserve a lot of credit. They're a decent team. They're a team that, in my opinion, when you look at how things transpired over the weekend, you can make an argument that they didn't necessarily deserve to win on Friday, Right. And so for them to steal this one today, it sucks, but it is what it is. I just don't feel as bad as I did last Sunday.
Give credit to the Padres bullpen. They completely shut down the Cubs after 2 innings. Cubs didn't score another run after the first 2 innings. Yeah. So that's another problem is, the offense kind of went silent against the Padres bullpen. And so that's one thing. I do have a question. Back to the Turner at first and whether or not he should have been there. The flip, I don't know what he said in the press conference afterwards. I'm curious how that went. If anybody's seen it in the chat, let us know. Would you rather have Turner at first base but available to bat third in the 9th? Because at that point, it's still a tied game. Mm-hmm. So in order to win the game, you're still going to have to score a run, at least one. Would you rather have Turner at first, but the flip side of it is then Workman's got to bat third in that inning. So if you're trying to score a run, would you rather have Turner or Workman taking that at bat in the 9th inning? That's probably his argument.
Yeah.
The other way.
And Workman's I don't even know if Workman has had 5 at-bats. 5 plate appearances.
No, I mean, tons of action in Cactus League, obviously, and then since then it's been very little. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'd be curious to see what his answer is, but I don't have problems with the way he used the bullpen. I think if there's anything anybody could question, it would be whether or not, including I know Cliff Floyd did, should Turner have been at first base?
And Justin Turner's already taking full responsibility for it in the post.
Well, he should have made the play.
Ball's got to
yeah.
be caught.
Yeah, it wasn't even a tough play to me, like at least for a major league player. And like you mentioned earlier, he made a really good play earlier in the game to throw Merrill out at home. So it's not like he can't make plays at first base. It's not Trey Mancini-esque. It's not Eric Hosmer-esque over there at first base for Justin Turner. So
to answer your question, Luke, I think I would rather go the route that they went. I think I'm okay with Justin Turner. He'll make that catch 9 times out of 10, hopefully higher than that. You know, obviously this is the one time he'll miss a ball like that, but I don't trust Gage Workman in a situation where this Padres bullpen is, if it's not the best bullpen in the league, it's the second best bullpen in the league.
You want a Gage Workman who doesn't even have AAA at bats coming into the 9th inning to face Robert Suarez?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The Padres high-end relievers have not given up hits this year. I mean, they are dominant. They generate a ton of swing and miss. This Cubs lineup took 8 walks today, but when those higher-end guys get in there, swing and miss, pop up. They're really good. They're really good.
They get it done. We're going to talk about the series in general, and we'll also be looking ahead in just a minute. Hey, go ahead and let us know what you think in the chat. Do you think Justin Turner should have been at first base? Did the Cubs play it right today defensively at the end of the game? But first, a word from our sponsors. Toyota's got 25 new vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. More than any other auto brand out there, the Chicago winter can be brutal, so can the spring, but Toyota makes it easier. From the sleek Camry all-wheel drive to the Corolla hybrid all-wheel drive, the Toyota Tundra is their truck that's known for its power, durability, and off-road capabilities, perfect for our weather. Headed to the big game, maybe heading out to spring break, the spacious Grand Highlander, the perfect ride with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. So bring the action, and Toyota will bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Right now, great time to sign up to be a CHGO diehard, or as I like to nickname them, the sickos. Upgrade your fandom today. Get access to our exclusive written content, a free t-shirt, plus plenty of discounts on future merch and events, and access to our CHGO Discord lounge, where we all hang out and talk Chicago sports and so much more. Go to allchgo.com for the latest information on how you can join thousands of CHGO diehards in our community. We can't wait to connect with you on an even greater level. By the way, we have new shirts out. You know, the merch, we have 4 new shirts this year. The merch, you could pick one of those as one of your new shirts.
Yeah.
So we have 4 of them out there. Now, I'm not sure if the 4th one you can buy yet or if that's when we get to 2,000 subscribers, but it's coming real soon.
Seems like every time we do a shirt drop, they just get better and better. I really, really love the baby blue CHGO, and I really like the hot dog one.
I'm not going to say that was my idea, but it was my idea.
That was your idea? Credit to you.
Credit to me. I know fashion.
I needed a laugh. Anyway, just like your favorite teams need a home court advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. You can go to a big box store, but you might be talking to someone who was working in plumbing yesterday and selling sod the day before that, all right? Empire Today lives and breathes flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. You get precise measurements taken and have your questions answered, so there are no surprises. With Empire Today, you get clear upfront and all-inclusive pricing, plus you can schedule an installation as soon as the next day. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code CHGO. Yes, you heard it right. A $350 discount with code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire today/CHGO for details.
Very nice. Cubs lose the finale. They had 7 runs in 2 innings. Couldn't score another run after that and lose 8-7 in disappointing fashion at Wrigley Field. But they do get the series win. So how do you grade the series? Back-to-back series wins is a pretty nice thing.
Yeah.
In reality, it should be 3 straight series wins if you try to not forget last Sunday. The 2 Sundays in a row, you could have had a sweep, and you could have had 3 straight series wins. You could be up to 7 straight wins right now? You could have a 7-game winning streak. That's the difference, right? Like, so at the end of the season, if you're disappointed, you already have 2 games that you can mark with a red mark on a calendar and say, that's one we should have had. Here's another one we should have had. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's going to happen over 162 games. You're going to blow some games that you should have won. Mm-hmm. But I will take series wins, and I think the key to this one was starting pitching in the first 2 games, right? Pitching alone, it was Imanaga and Boyd gave you a chance to go ahead and do this. Yep. And Brown didn't have the start he wanted to have, and then the bullpen really couldn't pick him up afterwards. At least not everybody in the bullpen could. So, yeah, I'll take 2 out of 3. I was feeling greedy, though, just like I was last weekend.
I don't feel nearly as bad about this loss as I did that Diamondbacks loss. Maybe that's just me. I don't feel... This was not, obviously, I don't like losing games to nationally contending teams, especially when you have the lead early on. But that Diamondbacks loss was a game. It's like, geez, man, you really needed that one. This one, I know it's at home, but man, the Padres are really good, and you kind of got lucky early on. You didn't score since the second inning. It didn't feel like a clean game to me. One you should have, but I'm a lot less upset about this loss than I am the Diamondbacks loss. That Diamondbacks loss was just ugly, man. It was right there for the taking. It was right there. This one was kind of like, man, 1-run game late. That really doesn't favor the Cubs bullpen. Give me that Padres bullpen any day, and sure enough, that ends up being the difference.
Doesn't winning the series over the Padres though kind of make you feel better about the loss of loss of the Diamondbacks? Like,
oh well, I mean.
Like, sure, maybe if we look back and the Cubs, finish a game behind Arizona, sure, perhaps, right? I'm just saying in the moment right now, they lost that game to Arizona and then they won 5 straight. Mm-hmm. And that includes a sweep over Sacramento or the A's, whatever, and then winning this series. And again, winning this series against a team that's was just battling with the Dodgers in the NLCS last year. And honestly, at one point in that series, I thought they were going to win the series, right? So a really solid Padres team that showed today why they were undefeated coming into this series. So to me, the way that I view the series is it's kind of it doesn't, how do I explain it? It doesn't take away that you blew that game to Arizona, but you made up a game against the A's by sweeping them, and then you won this series. And I guess in my own head and how I view things and how I am hopeful about how the rest of the month goes, you still split the series with the Diamondbacks. You didn't lose the series. Right? And then you went and swept a team that I gave the A's more credit going in. They swept them. They punished them, right? And then as much as I feel like maybe the Cubs got away with one on Friday, they still won the game. They had great starting pitching from Shota, and they scored enough runs, and they did all the things on the margins that you have to do to win. Then yesterday it was kind of like it was a snooze fest. It was a fun game to watch. You got Matt Boyd shoving it, then getting emotional in post game because his dad and his grandpa were Cubs fans growing up, and then Ian Happ's 1,000th game, and all these things coming out of yesterday. You go in today with some really good vibes, and I know it feels like this game kind of just destroys that, but it doesn't. You won the series, and now you have 3 games against the Rangers, and I'm sticking to my guns on what I've said. I don't care about the schedule. Teams know they can't come into Wrigley Field and just sweep the Cubs. They know this. All right. The Cubs, they're not the Dodgers. They're not the Orioles, the Red Sox, whatever. But they're not an easy team to beat either. So the Cubs have to do what they can control, as in playing well on the margins like they have to start the year, whether that's good base running, right? Not making errors like they did today, and timely hitting. Those are the 3 reasons, and starting pitching. Those are the 4 things on why they are 7-5 right now and have played one of the toughest schedules to start the year. So
that will only get harder now
as the month goes.
Which is why it would have been incredible to have a couple more, or at least one of those 2. But
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm like, They could be sitting really pretty considering how tough the month is.
I'm not going to bring up it was a week ago, but the difference between the two games last Sunday and this Sunday, Matt Boyd was great last Sunday. Today, you don't get a good start from Ben Brown. You're playing from behind right away, so you're battling. You come back, you're the beneficiary of some really silly Padres mistakes. So that's why I don't feel as bad about this loss, because it just felt like you benefited from them making mistakes, and you generated those runs. Runs are runs, but it felt like they gifted you those runs. The Diamondbacks, you grinded and were playing better than them in that game. It was one really crappy inning that blew the whole thing and blew a really good start from Matt Boyd. So that's the difference.
Remember the old Cadbury commercials? Thanks, Easter Bunny. Balk, balk. How often do you get 2 balks?
Right.
Yeah, not very often. Sarah, by the way, Sarah, do you have that sound? Sarah's got Justin Turner after the game. Let's listen to that real quick, and then we'll pick up with this.
Yeah, it's a good team over there. They got good arms in the pen. I thought we did a good job, battling back after the, rough first inning. Benny did a good job settling in, and obviously just let that one get away.
The walks came back, for both teams, but just when you have team 3 passes, how much can that come back and haunt you? Yeah,
just a lot of weird stuff in the game today. Walks, balks, infield hits. So obviously wasn't a clean game by any means on either side, and I think we let that one get away from us.
You've probably made that catch 1,000 times. Take us through what happened there.
Yeah, it's just that kind of tweener one. Not sure if it's going to bounce or stay up, and trying to get out there and get it before it bounces, and just missed it. No excuses. The ball's got to be caught.
So Turner taking accountability afterwards. Again, I would say you don't put the blame of the game on one player. For me, it was the walks. And I'll say it again, walks have been one of the biggest stories of the Cubs all season. Mm-hmm. They lead the majors in walks. Yes, they played more games than almost every team in Major League Baseball, but they're walking at a really high clip. Just in this series, 23 walks, 7, 8, and 8. Yeah. You have that many base runners. That's one of the positives of what's going on with the Cubs. We mentioned the negatives with the walks, 6 against the Diamondbacks in those last 3 innings, and then today, 8 overall in the game, including the 8th and 9th walking the leadoff man. On the flip side of it, Cubs batters have been doing a great job of getting on base, especially when the weather's like this.
Here's a big brain question for you, and I don't know if you'd be able to answer this, because then we'd have to look at every
because
team.
My brain's small? Or?
No.
Wait a minute.
It's more
understandable either way.
It's more of because I'm going to assume you haven't paid attention at every other team or across the league.
Right, yeah.
Like, just because I haven't either. So maybe the chat can help us with this actually as well. Like, do you think, okay, the Cubs batters are walking a ton to start the year. Mm-hmm. Great. My Delulu is sky high about it. We can do this all season. But then when the Cubs pitching staff is doing it, and then when you mix in the fact that other teams are doing it to the Cubs, is this just a sign of pitching staffs not fully where they want to be here to start the year? Or is this the Cubs really just doing what they want to do in terms of walking more?
I think both probably are true. My guess is pitchers aren't really ready and at their peak early in the season. But Cubs hitters have been patient enough to take advantage of it. It's the Kyle Tucker team text to his teammates saying, hey, look what we did against the A's. Mm-hmm. Walks. We were walking, and the extra base runners were a huge boost to our offense. Then he comes in and gets 2 walks on Friday, and you say, wow, they had 23 walks again in this series. So they're being patient. I'm good with the approaches at the plate for almost every guy on this team. And so I like the extra base runners, especially when it's cold like this. We're going to preview the series coming up this week against the Rangers. Listen, it might snow tomorrow night. Be ready to walk. I know you got to be ready to score runs, but when you're trying to get just one run across, that's why I didn't have a problem with the Cubs bunting PCA trying to move over
in the 8th inning.
In the 8th inning, trying to move the runner over because it's tough to score runs right now. The other bunt, I'm not so sure about. We will talk about that in a second. We're going to preview the series and much more. But first, a word from our sponsors. Bet Bet365 is live in Illinois. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up and use the code CHGO365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. With Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes up 5 runs with the instant payout on straight bets. A parlay selection marked as well as winners. Download the app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. Don't forget, sign up and use that code CHGO365. Deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. I did it. I loved it, and it paid off. Bonus bets can be used on bets for the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Disclaimer, must be 21 and older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Nerfy was dead to start the game.
Yeah.
It was dead the moment.
Say so.
It was dead the moment Ben Brown walked.
It was
Fernando
like
Tatis.
almost an hour-long first inning. It's like my worst nightmare.
One of my worst
Thank goodness
bets
it
of the
was a day
baseball
game.
season so far.
It's hard to bet baseball, man.
I need to just get need to put my meat on the table and run first inning. Let's go. We're rooting for runs in the first inning. That's what I need to do. Anyway.
Our friends at Shady Rays are helping you get in the right frame of mind with their premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. I love my Shady Rays, man. It's an important sunglasses company. They're offering world-class products, rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their sunglasses, they're durable with the frames, crystal clear optics. They make it perfect for a choice of all outdoor adventures. I'm sure Jason Hayward had his on, making that catch late in the game when he fell down at Wrigley Field sun. So many colors available. You'll find a pair that's perfect for you. I have the gold frames, really nice and thin with the circles on them. I got them for a bachelor party gift.
Oh, yeah?
Great. Yeah. I literally sent him the code, and I'm like, hey, get these for your pictures. And we got a couple really cool photos of all of us wearing them. They look great. I love them. I wear them every day. If your shades go missing or take a hit, don't sweat it. Most insane protection of all eyewear. Every pair packed by the lost or broken replacement program. If you lose them, just tell Shady Rays, hey, I lost them. They'll send you a new pair within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team has your back with personal and fast support. CHGO viewers and listeners, go to ShadyRays.com. Save 35% off polarized sunglasses with the code CHGO. Over 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars. Why don't you be the 300,001st person? So use the code CHGO today at ShadyRays.com.
Cubs lose 8-7, had a 7-3 lead, and couldn't hold on. We're at a chance at a series sweep. And we are here on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. If you're listening on the main channel, CHGO Sports, flip on over, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative about the new CHGO page. We have a super chat, $2 from Braxton. Did the ball go through Turner's glove? No, it looked like it went off his thumb.
Yeah. So if you have the pocket of your glove goes like this, and it was the thumb part, right?
Yeah.
It's the bottom part of the webbing. It hit there because his glove was kind of slanted, so he couldn't squeeze it. It hit the bottom and ricocheted off. What was weird about that play is the ball really, like Nico really must have chucked that ball pretty hard because it went all the way to almost the dugout fence there, which allowed Tatis to score from third. Yeah. So unfortunate, bad bounce.
Yeah, I mean, he said exactly what we were guessing earlier in the podcast. It was an in-between throw. He was thinking, am I going to have to scoop it? If I'm going to scoop it, I'm going to lunge forward to try and get it first. And instead it didn't, and it caught him in an awkward spot. But it's a play he knows he should make.
I like this comment from Darius. Hey, fellas, good series win, but horrible giveaway of a game we got to win. Change at 5th starter. Hodge slides in to closer.
Yeah, you ready to make Porter Hodge the closer yet?
Well, let's start with the 5th starter because there's a lot of Ben Brown. Like someone said up in the chat too that maybe they should option him to Iowa to get him focused on the strike zone because that's the problem with Ben Brown. And I say this all the time. When we're talking about Cubs homegrown pitchers, a large amount of the time we're always talking about command. He's got great stuff. Guys touching 95, 96 today. The death ball got a few guys swinging. He's got great stuff. And we saw it last year. It's not like this guy's never pitched before. We've seen this guy pitch. But early on this year, command has been a problem. All I'm going to say is that as long as you're getting solid starts out of Shota Imanaga, Matt Boyd, Jamison Tyone, like you did last week, and I still think Justin Steele is going to figure it out as long as he stops giving up 2 home runs a game, then I'm willing to ride this little bit of a roller coaster with Ben Brown as your 5th starter because he is the high ceiling play. Now, you want to option him to Iowa? Who are you going to put in that spot? Are you going to call up Jordan Wicks? He's also another young starter.
That's the update. Assad is not that far away. We heard from Wrigley Field that
Thank God.
Assad is going to do some more throwing, and then he's going to go out on an assignment. So I would assume he's not there that long. Where do you put Assad when he comes back? Because he's part of your pitching staff, no question about it. Assad's earned that. Do you put him there and do something with Brown, or do you try to put him in the bullpen to have another reliable circle of trust guy?
So for me, like if you don't want to wait for Assad, you could go to Jordan Wicks. I'm intrigued to see what Jordan Wicks can do in this rebound season because he was hurt twice last year. We saw what
Brown's next start. Try Wicks.
You could. I'm not advocating for it.
I'm not either.
I'm sitting here saying, ask me at the end of April, personally, for Ben Brown. I think that's what we have to do with young pitchers, man. You had to do the same thing with Justin Steele. The only difference thing with Justin Steele was we went through it, and it was in a season where wins didn't matter. We were, quote unquote, rebuilding when I was told we weren't in a rebuild. But now, like if the command doesn't get any better, then by the end of the month, then I'm open to that conversation. I think it's still too early, but I largely say this because 4 out of your 5 starters so far have been very good for you. And when I say very good, they've been able to go deeper into games.
That Matt Boyd signing looks really, really good through 2 starts.
And I'm not
2 starts.
Yeah. That's not surprising to me. My whole thing about Matt Boyd was health. So far, the health has been there. So let's all freaking knock on wood, say a prayer every night you go to bed that Matt Boyd is just sleeping perfectly and everything, right? So I'm fine with Ben Brown. I'm more excited to see what he does in his next start because I love a pitcher coming off a bad start. So I know it's tough today, and he had conditions that benefited him as far as the wind blowing in and all that, and walks killed him in that first inning. But I think we have, or at least for me, I feel like we got to let him go until April. If the command is still a problem, if he is walking 4 or 5 batters a game still here, it's April 6th. So 2-3 more starts here?
I'm okay with that.
If we get to the end of April and that's still a big problem, then maybe.
He has as much or more upside than anybody in the rotation.
Yeah.
Not that he'd be a better pitcher than some of those guys, but he has that room to grow with a high ceiling. Probably more, he has more room to grow than almost anybody.
You think that if they called Horton up, he's not going to have command problems?
Right.
Do you think that if they optioned Brown and brought in Jordan Wicks that he's not going to have command problems too? They're all young pitchers. And this is why me and Luke, and you probably thought this as well during the offseason too, Kevin, like this is why we wanted them to go get another starter to go with Steele and Imanaga. And they didn't. Now, Matt Boyd has been awesome to start the year, right? But there has to be a balance with these young pitchers, man. They're not all just going to be great right away. You know what I mean? So I think you just got to be patient with a guy like Brown. As far as closer, I'm not blaming Presley for them losing today.
No, I'm not either. You didn't score since the second inning.
No, that's a problem, and too many walks a problem. Speaking of the walks, Rohan had a good comment in the CHGO Cubs live YouTube chat. With the defense we have, pitchers should not be walking batters. They should just make the hitters hit. Yeah, that's it. You have arguably one of, if not the best defense in the National League. You have a spectacular defense. You have gold glovers all over the place. Now, Turner's not the guy at first base, but you have potentially, Bush could win a gold glove at first base. You have the outfield littered with gold gloves. PCA could win it in center field. So you have guys that can win gold gloves. Agreed. Don't stop walking, guys. Please, just stop walking batters. Sarah, did we have another soundbite from Wrigley Field from Carm?
Yeah, we have the Tucker one, Kyle Tucker.
All right, let's hear from Kyle Tucker because obviously another home run, and he was one behind Aaron Judge for the Major League lead with a few more games.
I mean, obviously, I would rather finish with the win, but I mean, I just, I feel comfortable up there and putting together some good at-bats and trying to, score up the ball as much as I can. So I think overall, we've been playing really good baseball so far.
Some of the arms that you guys had to face late in the game, what can you say about just the at-bats late after battling back and being able to take advantage early?
A lot of these, pretty much every team in the league has really good arms, especially in the back end of their bullpen. So, it's tough, but, I think we've been putting up some at least quality at-bats and grinding them out and kind of making them, kind of earn it and work for it. So, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. So you just got to keep battling up there and do your best.
How do you get through the weather when it's cold and just the same mindset that it's a 75-degree day?
It's tough, but, at the same time, you kind of got to mentally just know that regardless of how cold or warm it is, you still got to go out there and play and perform. So, it got colder throughout the game, but if you just keep the same mentality that you just got to go out there and, have a really good at-bat and play good defense and everything, just treat it like you just got to go perform no matter what.
Did you think that was going to be a big adjustment for you, coming playing here in April and all that?
Obviously I knew it was going to be pretty cold here at the beginning and probably at the end of the season. So, we got some stuff to keep warm and whatnot. So I just try and do my best to go out there and just play.
Craig has talked about how some of the...
He's going to get a taste of real cold the next couple of nights.
Yeah.
Real cold. High of 39 tomorrow. Yeah. And it's a night game. But he has been as advertised and probably even better than that in these first couple games.
Man.
Absolutely excellent. There's not enough words to describe just how damn impressive this guy is at the plate, man. Doesn't chase pitches, hits everything hard, hits everything the opposite way, has pull power, takes plenty of walks, situational hitting. There's not one thing I look at Kyle Tucker right now and I'm like, yeah, you should do that a little bit better at the plate. He's on pace for 67 home runs this year. Right now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
5 homers. Hold on. Cody, if you need to, go ahead and spray him. The reality spray. Slow down a little bit, everybody.
67 homers.
Slow down, everybody.
He has homered.
He's going to get 160 RBI.
He's homered in 11% of his at-bats last year. 23 homers and 277 at-bats. That's 8% of his at-bats ended up over the fence. 8%. Right now, he's sitting just a little bit higher than that. So if you average it out, I know he played like less than or about half the season last year. So we'll see. It's kind of hard to see. I got some water on my glasses. But listen, man, he's excellent. He changes the entire identity of the team. We knew he would. We said that in the emergency pod. We knew he would, and it's been an excellent start for Kyle Tucker. I mean, he absolutely hammered that home run today. Hammered it. 106 over the fence in the cold. He's been, as advertised, he's been excellent.
What was the stat they showed on Marquee? 14 hits and 11 walks in the last 10 games.
Yeah, more walks than strikeouts.
And like I said, 5 home runs is that was straight into the wind today, by the way. Early in the game, that was
hammered it.
That's out of the ballpark on a normal day.
I think that what hurts me the most about today's loss is that we're sitting here talking about Justin Turner dropping a ball in the bullpen and whatever, instead of talking about Kyle Tucker hitting his first homer at Wrigley in a big moment to give the Cubs a big lead. And just, man, that was such an awesome moment. And now it's another awesome moment paired with a loss. It just goes with what it's like to be a fan of this freaking
There's going to be so many more awesome moments with this guy this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that gene. He's awesome. I mean, everything about him being able to flip in that second and third row. I like the way Counsell has deployed that with the lefty and the righty matchup, him and Seiya flip-flopping in that 2 and 3 hole. As long as those two are healthy, that should never change.
Yeah.
Those are your boppers. And right now they're both swinging the bat pretty well. But what's Tucker? He's second in the league in home runs now behind Judge, or tied for second with 5, right, Luke? You said Judge had 8.
Yeah, I don't know if Judge
7 or 8 homers.
No, Judge had 1 more. He had 6.
6. Okay, so yeah, Tucker.
But obviously he's played probably 2 less games.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
2-time MVP. Yeah, but
I mean, Judge is going to hit more home runs than Tucker this year if he's healthy.
Yeah.
But
that'd be a fun bet. That'd be a fun show bet. Who hits more home runs, Kyle Tucker or Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge. Boy, I would take. I would take Judge, but
just based off the fact he plays.
You would take Judge.
I mean, yeah, it's the fair play.
He plays in a Mickey Mouse ballpark. All right.
But the wind, Cody.
But the wind, yeah. Maybe he has a 20 home run month like Sammy Sosa back in 1998.
I mean,
hey, remember when we thought the Reds were going to be the biggest threat in the division? They're off to a tough start.
Yeah, and
they're off to a real tough
and
start.
Milwaukee, who lost their first 5 games or whatever. Now they're back to 500, which is no surprise. It's also way too early to be paying attention to these teams and trying to dictate if they're good or bad. I know the Cardinals are even off to a decent start, and they had a lead late today and they blew it, and they have a closer. So
when the Braves started the season 0-7, and no teams ever made the playoffs with that start.
Right.
Will they be the first? That's an awfully talented team not to make the postseason.
Well, they still don't have Acuna.
But they're in a tough division.
They need. I would say the Braves, that they got to be around 500 or better, maybe just over 500 by the time Acuna comes back. That's where they need to be, because he's their best player. He just flat out is. So they lost a game to the Marlins this weekend. I don't know if they won the series or not, but I know they lost. Matt Mervis hit 2 homers yesterday.
Did he really?
He did, yeah.
Wow.
Did you see?
Can't believe we traded him, Kevin.
Oh, Mervis.
All they do is trade the good young players.
Chicago dude. What did Chicago dude just say about that Judge contract? It's right one more at the top. Yeah, 9 for $360, signed at age 29.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't bang that drum enough. When he was out there, I was like, listen, if you don't think he'd be a vibe at Wrigley Field, he would. And now you have the same type of opportunity with Kyle Tucker. Don't let it pass again. I don't want to do that every single show, but every time I look back and see Judge doing something, or Bryce Harper, or whoever it might be, I think to myself, missed opportunity.
I think the difference between Judge's contract and Kyle Tucker's potential contract now is the market's different, and Juan Soto just got paid $765 million. Now,
just as the market will be different in 3 years.
Sure.
Right?
The difference between Juan Soto and Kyle Tucker is Juan Soto is 26, and Kyle Tucker's 28. So, it will just depend on what those numbers are at the end of the year. As much as I'm going to tweet the extend Kyle Tucker picture that I got at Friday 120 every time he does something awesome this year, we all know that this is going to free agency. We all know that this is going to be something that we talk about in December. I'll be surprised if it's something that gets done in season. I would applaud them. I would celebrate it like it's, like we just won the World Series if they did it. But, that way Luke doesn't have to spray me with the reality spray every single show. Let's just call a spade. That's just how I feel. I think that's how most people feel, that this is going to free agency. And honestly, it'd be smart for him as his agent and him, that it would be smart for them to probably go to free agency and get into a bidding war with whoever, the Cubs and whoever else.
If you do that, though, you are in let's say the Cubs offer you a deal right now, or they're talking. Let's say hypothetically they're talking, and the Cubs throw $450 million on the table. If you're Kyle Tucker, you're probably thinking about it, right? Because you just had a really bad injury last year. Yeah. That plays a role here too.
It's guaranteed money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I have no idea what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
It could happen. Yeah. We could get the press release before somebody tweets it out. We could get the press release in our email. It says Cubs signed Tucker to extension before we get the pass and bomb. We don't know.
Yeah. I'll be shocked, but yeah, I'd like to be shocked.
Yeah, I would love to be wrong about what I just said.
So would I.
You know what I mean? That is what I would love to see. But when you got Crane Kenny going on Marquee yesterday, bragging about selling more of the new legendary alternates than the Wrigleyville ones in a week, and talking about how much money they made from that whenever you're $30 million below the first-tier luxury tax on your payroll, doesn't instill a lot of confidence right now in a lot of Cubs fans. And, all I've said since they made the trade is if this team makes playoffs, wins division, whatever, goes and wins a playoff series, and he's a big part of that success, and you do not bring him back, dude, you're gonna have worse PR from that than losing any other playoff game you'll ever have.
I think they know that too.
You know what I
think
mean?
they know that.
You'll have worse PR from that than anything that you could ever do on the field outside of of a player doing something really stupid off the field.
From this series, what was your favorite play? Was it PCA's catch in center? Was it Ian Happ's catch yesterday? Was it Happ just not even a play, Happ coming to the plate? Or was it something from Imanaga or Kyle Tucker's home run today? What was your favorite Cubs moment?
For me, it's the Ian Happ catch because
was that the best defensive play? There was some.
Yeah.
I'm throwing in Machado's play today.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
To get Turner, Turner was really chugging
down
the baseline, but that was still an unbelievable play
had
at third base.
He had a handful of miscues defensively this weekend, but that was for sure his
that
best
was a great
play. I'll go with Ian Happ's catch on Saturday. They were up 6-7 runs, but in his 1,000th game, he himself took a lot from this game to remember. To not only play in it, hits the double off the wall in the first inning, and then has that catch later in the game. Like it's, when you see Marquis put up the graphic of the most the active players to have played 1,000 games with the same team, and you see Aaron Judge and Francisco Lindor, I think, and Jose Ramirez, and maybe two more names, and then Ian Happ. I will stand on top of the hill when I say that Ian Happ is one of the most underrated players in this franchise's history. No one wants to appreciate this guy. No one. And it boggles me. So I'm just happy to see that not only 1,000 games as a Cub, have success individually, and have some fun moments from his 1,000th game. And I so bad want him to be part of the core players that gets this team back to the playoffs and doing something hopefully memorable for us fans in October. I so bad want that for him because in 17 and 18 he wasn't a core player. He was the young guy that was trying to just stay in the league,
Yep.
And
to put the offense that was struggling at the time back on another plane. He was supposed to be the spark plug, the addition, the Nico Horner of 2019,
Yeah.
That's
the situation's a lot different. So
it is. And 1,000 games.
I just want him to be
1,000 games is a long time in one uniform.
Yeah.
That's a long time. It was really, I actually thought it was cool that Hayward was in the other dugout for it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Right? Somebody that's, he's been around for a long time and was in the outfield with for a long time. And I'm glad we didn't get any Jason Hayward revenge games this weekend too. I thought for sure there was a Jason Hayward revenge moment coming our way. Instead it was Jeremiah Estrada.
Yeah, we got Jeremiah Estrada and Jason Adam revenge games.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know, man. What was my favorite play of the weekend? The Ian. I've just been an Ian Happ fan for a long time. I love the way he approaches the game. I love the confidence he instills in his teammates. I love the way he talks about the game. I love the way he talks about golf too. I like playing golf, and I like how good he is at golf.
Yeah.
I appreciate him and what he's done, and been a consummate professional here. So the catch was probably my favorite. But honestly, man, I don't know if it was one specific play, and I can't remember specifically all the way back to Friday because my brain kind of stinks sometimes. But Shota, just in general, key outs and no drama with him. I don't know if that answers your question.
No sign of aggression from Shota.
He's just excellent. I really, there's not enough things that I can say about every time he takes them out. Now we're like, oh, okay, I'm betting on the Cubs to win.
Yeah, you can also throw in Shota the next day. So on Saturday, showing up in that awesome Bears, starter jacket.
Coat. Yeah.
Oh my! I saw that and was just like, "We're winning today."
We just get caught up, like MLB Twitter and fandom and all these things. And I know that Twitter and everything. I know that they will tweet things about Shota and videos of Shota, but he is still incredibly underrated when it comes to the big baseball sphere. Of the 10 to 15 guys that are talked about, I'll extend it to 20. He's still not talked about the way he should be. I know he was an all-star last year. He's awesome. I think the Ian Happ catch was my favorite, to answer your question, but Shota's still the ultimate stopgap Need a close win, 2-run win. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll keep guys off the bases, and I'll win you a ball game.
Yeah.
Well, now you get the Rangers, and the Rangers are off to an 8-2 start. They have a lot of bats that can hurt you. So I like what starting pitching meant to this series against the Padres. I hope it means the same thing in this series against the Rangers. You get Steele looking for a little redemption on the mound. You get Imanaga and Tyone as well. It goes Steele, Tyone, Imanaga. I like those three pitchers against the Rangers, especially Shota pitching when I don't know how long the cold weather's supposed to last, but I like having really good starting pitchers on the mound when it's going to be freezing cold at night at Wrigley Field in the first 2 games of this series. 39 for a high temperature, possible snow in the forecast. I just hope that we're sitting here doing a post-game show and they play the game. Second of all, I'm really glad I'm not on the sidelines waiting to do an interview at Wrigley Field tomorrow night because it's going to be brutal out there.
Rangers coming in winners of 5 straight that just swept the Rays.
They're hot.
Well, the Padres just came to town 7-0, and you won the series. So I'm not, again, like I said, first segment, I don't care about the schedule. Just play the way you're supposed to play in terms of playing well in the margins, get good starting pitching, timely hitting, and good defense. You didn't get all those facets today, and that is why you lost the ball game. But you have a team that's red hot coming into play in weather conditions that you are used to, and they are not. And you're 7-5. You're not a bad team. I don't care about the schedule. Just you put anyone out there, and if you play the way that this team is capable of playing, they have a chance to beat anyone in this league, except for maybe the Dodgers. But I don't think anyone can beat the Dodgers. So,
although they just lost,
let's that. To me, it's all about a bounce back tomorrow. Bounce back tomorrow. You said Steele starts tomorrow.
Steele tomorrow.
All right, Justin Steele. He's pitched his first 3 games on the road. Back at beautiful historic Wrigley Field tomorrow. I just saw his girlfriend post a TikTok. He just got one of the rarest Justin Herbert football cards, cards.
Cool. Oh, really?
And he the way he looked at it, because he was so excited that he got it. The guy is as happy as anyone right now after that. So he's taking some high vibes going into this start.
I would say so. Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, as we talked about with Steele before. Struggled early last start, but still managed to give you 6 2/3 because he got better as the start went along. Needs to keep the ball in the ballpark. Number 1 for me. You keep the ball in the ballpark, you're going to have a chance to win tomorrow.
2 things. No walks and keep the ball in the ballpark. Keep the ball in the ballpark should be easier if the wind is blowing in at night. Keep the runners off the base pass with the free pass. Go ahead, we just said in the chat earlier tonight. Go ahead and make the hitters hit with that defense that you have behind him. I think he'd be beneficial. Listen, it's disappointing that we sit here and say they didn't get the sweep tonight. They lose 8-7 after they had a 7-3 lead after 2 innings. But you can also look at what Kevin was saying earlier in the podcast. Did they really do any facet of the game really, really well on Sunday? The answer is no.
No,
they didn't. They didn't pitch very well. They had some sloppy defense. I guess base running was fine, but in general, they didn't do anything super well today. I like the 8 walks. That's about the most positive thing you can say.
And the Rangers coming into this game.
For the Cubs, the 8 walks.
Coming into this game, the Rangers, they don't walk very much starting the year. They are free swinging. They hit a lot of home runs. They have a very deep lineup. They're relatively healthy. I think tomorrow the good thing is if you're going to get free swingers on Steele, I like that matchup just because he generates so much swing and miss historically. So a bounce back from Steele against a good offense would be awesome. He'll have the weather on his side tomorrow.
Isn't it a Steele revenge game? Because when he faced the Rangers last year, that's when he hurt the hamstring.
Yeah, he came off the mound.
Justin Steele revenge game tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
let's go.
And he also was pitching pretty well in that game. If I recall,
he was.
Well, that was devastating.
It sucked. Yeah.
It's a devastating
revenge
start.
game tomorrow. Yeah, spread the narrative now. Let's go. I'm ready. Get me back here tomorrow. Let's go. I'm ready for tomorrow.
Before we get out of here, Kyle Tucker right now plus 1,200 for NL MVP.
Plus
I would put some money on it.
Huh?
Flip it. I would put a couple bucks on it.
A couple bucks.
Oh, you know what we have to do before we go, which we forgot to do for this last series? We have to do you call your Cub because I'm up 2-0 so far this season.
Does that mean you get to go first, or does the loser get to
I'll go last. I'll go last. You guys go ahead and take your call your Cubs for this series against the Rangers. It's a hitters contest only. We're not no pitching, so you can't take the starters, especially with the wind blowing in at 39 degrees.
Who's been swinging the bat really well? A lot of the guys have been swinging the
Let's
bat
go.
really
While
well.
we're young,
We can still take Tucker. I mean, that's the obvious.
Sure,
one
yeah.
at
If you
this
want
point.
to take Tucker, go ahead.
But he just expressed some concerns about the cold. Not concerns, but
well, he just was like, "Oh yeah, I
See,
thought
I
it'd be a
don't
little
know.
cold. I
Yeah.
got some warm stuff," and I'm thinking, "Uh-oh,
there's a
here
little
we go."
hesitancy in his voice.
Yeah, he's gonna be wrapped up tomorrow night.
Give me Dansby.
Dansby Swanson off to a pretty decent start this
He's
season.
been hitting the ball very well. Yeah.
the tank yesterday to dead center.
All right, Kevin's on
Give
record.
me Dansby.
He's got Dansby against the Rangers for call your Cub.
Okay.
Chat, play along.
Man, I'm trying to okay. I should take Tucker so you can't, and you're ahead, right?
Or you can take the guy who's struggling to make them good again.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah, I
could
could
stick
take
to the
Pete.
narrative.
Yeah, I could stick to give me Pete. PCA.
Let's go.
Give me PCA. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do all season. Like, yeah. Just gotta take the guy who's struggling. Give me don't let PCA get hot. Don't let PCA get hot. Also, if there is any concern I have about PCA, it's that this guy is really struggling against lefties. That's it. That's the only real concern about PCA I have as a hitter right now is that he's just not look good against lefties. But it's early, and it's cold. So I don't know.
I think there's three choices for me. There's Seiya, who gets to go back and warm up in the clubhouse if he wants to a lot during the game tomorrow and over the rest of the next 3 days. There's Ian Happ, who knows how to play in cold weather. Been there, done that. Or there's King Tuck, who just homered at Wrigley Field. And I don't know why I would not take Kyle Tucker. And so I will. Because that's how I roll. Is it bold? No, it is not. Is it wise? Potentially
it's
so.
wise.
All right, it's officially sent
Potentially
in
so.
our Slack channel.
But
so
if
no
P-
changes.
Somebody has to take Kyle Tucker. If you don't take Kyle Tucker, everybody out there is like, who are these three goobers?
Yeah.
I would have taken Ian Happ, honestly.
You would have
That's my
taken Ian
opinion.
Happ?
Well, you can just have her.
Feel free.
Or
You
have
can
him.
have Ian
Happ's your
Happ.
guy.
I will.
Yeah.
Saw who had Austin's got Happ in the chat, and somebody else had Happ too. So Daniel's got Happ.
Daniel's
Yep.
gonna have. Evil Access Suzuki bounces back against the Rangers after a tough series. Yeah. Yeah, Seiya did have a tough series. So
Post-game planned after all three games right here on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. It's brand new. It's only like 10 days old. Make sure you go there and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a relative, tell a neighbor, tell someone you've never met before. Tell a stranger.
and a little I guess it's a tease. But tomorrow we'll have a video up of Rangers preview with Jeff Wilson from DLLS.
Oh, cool. Boom. And that's going to be on the CHGO
Yeah.
Cubs YouTube channel.
And that's why you should subscribe.
Subscribe.
You can watch it tomorrow morning and get
Nice.
yourself prepped, learn a little bit more about the Rangers, obviously, with the Cubs as well.
Yeah.
So
Find out what they're doing well.
we were going to try doing that. We put one up for the Padres series, and thankfully for this one that we're going to put up tomorrow, we'll have a guy that covers the Rangers, so knows a little bit more.
Nice.
So.
I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
All right, disappointing loss for the Cubs, 8-7 at Wrigley Field. Just let that series sweep slip away, but they still win the series. They didn't get the sweep. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs post-game show presented by Toyota and Bet365. Back here tomorrow night after probably a cold one at Wrigley Field. Until then, thanks for listening and watching, and fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.